Have you ever baked a cake for your dog, bought them a gift, or sung them happy birthday? What does it say about a person who celebrates their dog's birthday with genuine intention? Is it indulgence, or something far more revealing about how deeply a person can love? What if celebrating your dog's birthday is one of the most psychologically meaningful things you do? What if the ritual itself, the candles, the cake, the fuss, is doing something important for you? And what if the people who do this most enthusiastically are among the most emotionally generous alive? There is a moment that happens in the lives of dog owners around the world once a year. Someone looks at the calendar, looks at their dog, and decides, this day is going to mean something. Maybe they order a special treat, wrap a toy, gather people who love this dog, light a candle on a cupcake, and sing, with full sincerity, to an animal who has no concept of anniversaries. From the outside, it looks like whimsy, a charming excess worth smiling at from a gentle distance. But from inside the psychology of the person doing it, something far more layered is happening. Psychologists who study ritual behavior and human-animal bonding have examined this phenomenon with increasing interest. What they found consistently defies the easy dismissal. Celebrating your dog's birthday is not simply indulgent behavior. It is a window into some of the most sophisticated emotional and relational processes a human being can engage in. The person who bakes their dog a birthday cake is telling us something important about how they love and what rituals do for the human psyche, whether or not the honoree understands what is being celebrated. The question is not just philosophical. It is personal. It asks something specific about the kind of person who finds ritual necessary and what happens inside them when they enact it with genuine care. The question worth asking is not whether celebrating a dog's birthday is rational. Clearly it is not, in any narrow sense. The deeper question is, why does this irrationality feel so profoundly right? What is it about the birthday ritual, the acknowledgement of a life, the marking of another year, that makes it feel necessary even when the subject of the celebration cannot understand it? And why does the dog specifically inspire this? In people who might not celebrate the anniversary of any other possession, relationship, or event with the same warmth and specificity. Love alone does not explain ritual. Plenty of people love deeply and create no rituals. The birthday celebration is something additional, something that happens when love wants to express itself in form. What need does the ritual meet for the person who plans it, executes it, photographs it? And what does that need reveal about who they are and what celebration means to them? The birthday celebration for a dog is, at its core, a ritual. And rituals are among the most psychologically powerful structures available to human beings, worth understanding precisely. Ritual marks the passage of time, affirms what matters, and transforms ordinary moments into meaningful ones through deliberate, repeated action. These are not trivial functions, they are how humans make meaning. This marking of time is not incidental. It is one of the ways human beings resist the sensation that life is simply happening to them, that they are passive witnesses rather than active participants. The birthday ritual is about acknowledgement. It says, this being exists, this year happened, and that deserves to be noticed. It is a refusal to let time pass without witness. When someone celebrates their dog's birthday, they perform this acknowledgement for a being who cannot perform it for themselves. They are, in a profound sense, being the witness their dog's existence requires. There is something psychologically rich in this proxy celebration. The person is insisting on the meaning of a life that the world might not otherwise formally mark. This insistence on meaning reflects a particular kind of love, not passive love, not merely felt love, but love that takes action, that creates form, that refuses to leave significance undemonstrated. Dog birthday celebrations are a textbook expression of anthropomorphism, the attribution of human qualities to non-human beings. And this is not a criticism. It is a starting point. Recent psychology has substantially revised its skepticism about anthropomorphism. What once seemed like cognitive error now appears to be a sophisticated form of perspective-taking. People who anthropomorphize their dogs are not confused about the difference between human and canine cognition. They are choosing to engage with their dog through the lens of relational equality. In the dog's birthday, this capacity for unconditional regard is given its most explicit expression. And in giving it that form, the person reinforces and deepens it within themselves. This lens of relational equality reflects a moral imagination that extends care beyond the boundaries the world typically draws, treating the dog as a being whose life deserves the same celebration. The person who celebrates their dog's birthday is making a statement. This being matters not because of what it produces or provides, but simply because it is here. Practicing this unconditional regard, even in the form of a birthday cake, exercises and deepens the capacity for it more broadly in a person's emotional life. Dog birthday celebrations tend to be genuinely joyful, filled with the specific lightness that comes from doing something deliberately absurd in full knowledge of its own absurdity. People who can engage in what psychologists call self-conscious play, deliberately silly, self-aware activities, tend to show greater overall psychological flexibility and emotional resilience. The person who sings happy birthday to their dog with a lit candle is demonstrating, in a small but meaningful way, a capacity for unself-conscious joy that correlates with emotional resilience. The investment hypothesis in psychology states that the more deliberately we invest in something through time, ritual, organized celebration, the more emotionally significant it becomes to us. By celebrating the dog's birthday, a person actively invests in the relationship. They mark it as worthy of this level of attention, and in doing so, they deepen the meaning of the bond. Deliberately positive experiences, where the brain anticipates reward and receives it, strengthen neural pathways associated with attachment and the perceived value of a relationship. Neuroscience supports this. The birthday celebration is not just an expression of how much the dog is loved. It is also an act that makes the dog more loved, deepening the bond through deliberate, meaningful experience. The birthday becomes an annual emotional investment, a deliberate deepening of the bond through joy, through effort, through the act of making another being the center of a day. One fascinating aspect of the dog birthday is how it reveals that the person has identified with their dog as a fellow subject, a being with an interior life worth marking. The anticipation and planning of positive social events, even for another being, activates the brain's reward circuitry long before the event itself. There is real neurochemical truth beneath this. As a person plans the birthday, selecting the treat, preparing the setting, dopamine rises. The reward and motivation chemical is released not just by pleasure, but by the anticipation of meaning. On the day itself, when the dog reacts to the extra attention and special food, when something like joy registers in their behavior, oxytocin surges in the celebrating person. Oxytocin is activated by shared positive experience. The birthday creates one deliberately, and the neurochemical effect is as real as any organic bonding experience. Many dog birthdays involve other people, friends, family, other dog owners. These shared celebrations serve an additional social function beyond the human-dog bond. They create community around a shared value. The value of this dog, this relationship, this kind of love that takes the form of a party with a dog as its guest of honor. Ritual gatherings have always served this function in human communities, affirming who belongs, what the community values, and how love is expressed within it. In this light, the dog's birthday party is not eccentric. It is deeply traditional, a ritual gathering that defines a community of care and publicly affirms its shared values. There is also something important about the photographs. Birthday celebrations for dogs are frequently photographed and shared. And this documentation is psychologically significant beyond simple social media behavior. When we photograph a moment, we declare it worth preserving, saying, "This happened, it mattered, and I want a record." The photograph is itself an act of meaning-making. The person who photographs their dog's birthday cake is insisting that this small, absurd, lovely moment will not pass without notice. That insistence is, at its core, a form of love. The gift is not for the dog in any practical sense. The dog does not know it is a gift. But giving matters to the giver. Choosing something for someone you love is meaningful in itself. Research on gift giving shows that the psychological benefits accrue primarily to the giver. Through expressing care in concrete form, translating feeling into object, making the invisible visible. When someone carefully selects a birthday gift for their dog, a toy they will love, a treat that matches their preferences, they experience the full psychological benefit of the gift-giving act. Now let us talk about what the birthday celebration reveals about a person's relationship with love, because this is ultimately what the behavior is about. This is where the dog birthday transcends mere sentimentality. It is a physiological event as much as an emotional one, and the person who creates it benefits as much as the dog who receives it. People who celebrate their dog's birthday with genuine enthusiasm tend to believe love deserves to be shown, made tangible, visible, and specific rather than merely felt and unexpressed. They are not satisfied with felt love, love that lives only inside, unexpressed. They need love to have form. They need it to be given shape by action. The capacity to translate inner feeling into outer expression, to act on love, not merely feel it, is central to the deepest and most nourishing forms of human relationship. For many people, their dog is where this expressive love is most fully realized. The dog accepts every expression without embarrassment, without the social complexity that sometimes constrains human demonstrations of affection. There are no expectations to manage. No worry about whether the gesture is too much or the wrong kind. With a dog, the birthday cake is always perfectly, gratefully received. This freedom to love expressively, to celebrate without self-consciousness, is one of the greatest gifts a dog offers. And the birthday is one of its most complete expressions. For people who have experienced the loss of a dog, a living dog's birthday carries additional weight. It is also, implicitly, a birthday for every dog they have ever loved. Celebrating the birthday honors the preciousness of a life that will not last as long as the love will. It is the person saying, while you are here, let this year be marked. This mortality awareness, the knowledge that dogs live shorter lives, that each birthday may be among the last, invests the celebration with an emotional depth that pure joy alone cannot fully explain. There is something almost elegiac about the most tender dog birthdays, celebrating not just the year past but all the years that will not come. Loving more intensely, because it knows it will lose. For these people, each birthday is quietly tinged with both gratitude and preemptive grief, a holding of joy that is aware of its own finitude and determined to honor the time that remains. For many people, their dog is central to how they understand themselves. They are not just an owner. They are a dog person, a caretaker, someone who makes chosen family. The birthday celebration enacts and affirms this identity. It says, I am the kind of person who celebrates this. This relationship is at the center of my world, not the periphery. We become more fully who we are through the rituals we practice and the celebrations we create. The dog's birthday is, in this sense, a ritual of self-definition. In celebrating the dog, many people are also celebrating a vision of a good life. One that includes warmth, play, deliberate joy, and relationships honored with genuine, specific, expressed care. Now let us consider the types of people who celebrate their dog's birthday most fully. The behavior is common, but the psychology beneath it varies in specific and revealing ways. There is the ceremony maker, someone who has always loved ritual. Birthdays, anniversaries, the marking of transitions. The dog's birthday is a natural extension of a lifelong orientation toward ceremony. For the ceremony maker, life without ritual feels thin. Celebrating the dog's birthday is not eccentric. It is entirely consistent with how they approach every relationship and transition worth honoring. Then there is the pure expressor, someone who loves enormously and needs outlets for that love. For them, the birthday is a vehicle for expressing a feeling too large to be held inside. The pure expressor does not overthink it. They feel the love, they find an outlet, and the outcome is a decorated dog in a party hat who has no idea what is happening but enjoys the extra treats. There is the community builder, someone who uses the dog's birthday as an occasion to gather people, an invitation to bring together those who share love for this specific dog. For the community builder, the dog is a social center of gravity, a being whose capacity to generate love becomes, once a year, a reason to celebrate together what they already feel separately. There is the grief honorer, someone who lost a dog, perhaps many, and celebrates the living dog's birthday with particular intensity, knowing what a birthday can become with time. For the grief honorer, the birthday is never just a celebration. It is a gratitude, a holding, a private acknowledgement that this dog is still here, that the birthday is not yet a date remembered in sorrow. What each of these types has in common is a willingness to be seen, to publicly claim this relationship as worthy, this dog is beloved, this love is real enough to deserve its own occasion. And there is the child at heart, someone who has never lost the capacity for genuine, unself-conscious delight. For them, the dog's birthday is simply wonderful, a chance to be fully, unambiguously happy. The child at heart celebrates it because of its irrationality, because the freedom to be delighted by something that defies adult gravity is exactly what the day provides. Now let us go somewhere deeper. For many people who celebrate their dog's birthday with great care, something more than adult love is at work, something formed much earlier. Think about the child who was certain their pet understood them, who marked moments with their animal with the full seriousness of a child's ceremonial instinct. Many adult dog birthday celebrators are still that child. For that child, the animal was a full participant in the family, included in birthdays, holidays, special occasions. The child learned that this was not strange. It was love. That child grew into the adult who bakes the birthday cake, gathers the people, and lights the candle, because something in them has always known the dog deserves to be part of it all. For the child whose own birthdays were not celebrated warmly, or who lost the person who made them special, giving the dog what they once received or wished for is a quiet, profound act of healing. Creating for the dog the celebration one needed is love that loops back through time. It is the child's wish fulfilled through the adult's giving, and it heals something that has waited a long time. Researchers have noted that the practices humans develop around their animal relationships often mirror those around their deepest human ones. That how we love our dogs teaches us how to love. Now let us step back and consider what the dog birthday reveals about human beings and the world they are trying to create within the one they were given. We live in a world that values productivity over ritual and increasingly strips the ceremonial from ordinary life. In such a world, the dog's birthday is an act of deliberate cultural resistance. It is a refusal to let time pass unmarked. A refusal to love without demonstrating it. A refusal to accept that only human lives deserve celebration. And in that refusal, something quietly profound. The person who celebrates their dog's birthday is insisting, against all pressure to be efficient and unsentimental, that a creature who gives everything deserves at least one day in their honor. If you celebrate your dog's birthday, if you buy the cake, wrap the toy, or simply say happy birthday out loud to a dog who does not understand, you are not foolish. You are someone who knows that love is not diminished by being given to an animal. Someone who understands that ritual is not wasted on a being who cannot comprehend it. Someone who chooses to celebrate life. If this resonated, please like it and subscribe. And in the comments, tell us, how do you celebrate your dog's birthday, and what does that day feel like for you?